अगर आप भी यहाँ पर आकर इंटरव्यू देना चाहते हैं तो वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको एक गूगल फॉर्म मिलेगा, जाकर आप वो गूगल फॉर्म भर दीजिए, फिर आपका भी इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल होगा और आप भी यहाँ पे आके इंटरव्यू दे पाएंगे। और अगर आप जावास्क्रिप्ट को 0 से एडवांस लेवल तक मास्टर करना चाहते हैं तो आप हमारा द कंप्लीट जावास्क्रिप्ट कोर्स फॉलो कर सकते हैं, जो कि आपको यूट्यूब पे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मिल जाएगा। उस कोर्स का भी लिंक मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। इस कोर्स के अंदर मैंने 0 से एडवांस लेवल तक जावास्क्रिप्ट के हर एक कॉन्सेप्ट कवर किए हैं, इसीलिए इस कोर्स का जो ड्यूरेशन है वो है 60 आवर्स। 60 आवर्स का ये पूरा कोर्स है। और अगर आप अपने रिएक्ट के स्किल को भी नेक्स्ट लेवल लेके जाना चाहते हैं तो मैंने रिएक्ट को भी बहुत ही डीप में कवर किया है। इसका भी कोर्स आपको फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट यूट्यूब पे ही मिल जाएगा, उसका लिंक भी मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। और अगर आप पूरा का पूरा फ्रंट एंड ही पढ़ना चाहते हैं, HTML से लेके CSS, जावास्क्रिप्ट, रिएक्ट, गिट एंड गिटहब, npm, टेलविंड, रिएक्ट, रिडक्स, ये सारी चीजें अगर आप पढ़ना चाहते हैं तो उसका भी मैंने एक कोर्स बनाया है, पूरा कंप्लीट फ्रंट एंड बूट कैंप। उस कोर्स का भी लिंक मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। आपको हर एक कोर्स फ्री में मिल जाएंगे, तो आप जरूर से जाके इन कोर्सेज को चेकआउट करिए। तो चलिए अपने वीडियो को कंटिन्यू करते हैं।
I have close to 2.5 years of experience in front-end development, majorly working on React.js as the primary tech stack. Currently working in a product-based company, and yeah, that's a background about me.
Okay, that's good. So if I ask you to rate yourself in CSS, JavaScript and React out of 10 points, how much you will rate respectively? Out of 10 points in CSS, how
10
much
points.
in CSS how much you will give? JavaScript and React.
I would rate 5 on 10 for CSS, 7 for JavaScript, and 7 for React.
7 for JavaScript and 7 for React.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with CSS first. So
Okay.
can you tell me the full form of CSS? What is the full form?
Yeah, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets.
Okay, so
basically they basically cascade from parent to child. So hence the name Cascading Style Sheets.
okay, parent to child, it cascades.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain how it cascades from parent to child? What does it mean by that?
So let's say if there is a style that is applied on the parent, if you don't specify any style property on the child, if so that let's say that property can be applied to the child as well.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, all right. You have heard of box model? Box
Yeah,
model in
I have heard
CSS?
of yeah. Yeah.
Can you explain what is box model?
So every element on the web page that you see is actually represented in a form of a box, uh, which uh, which again has few properties like width, height, and some other properties like margin, padding, and
Yes, that's correct. So there is something called box sizing border box and box sizing content box. What is difference between both?
box sizing border box. Let's say you have a box whose width is like 50 pixel and there is a padding of 10. So while calculating the actual width of that box, if you give box sizing border box, that padding will also be included in the width.
Okay.
If you don't give border box, that padding will not be included in the width of the.
Okay, what is the default value of box sizing?
It is content box.
Okay, that's good. Now, have you heard of specificity? Specificity in
Yeah,
CSS?
CSS
Yeah.
specificity. Yeah.
Yeah, what does it mean?
So basically, there can be many rules that can be applied on an element. So, but when you have many rules, which is the rule that is going to be applied is defined by the specificity.
Okay. So what is the specificity of class selector and element selector and ID selector? What is the value for the specificity?
Generally, ID has more specificity than class, and class has more specificity than the element.
Yes, that's correct. Now, okay. Now, do you know what is difference between div tag and span tag?
Yeah, div tag is a block element, and span tag is an inline element. Block line element always starts on a div starts on a new line character. Uh, it occupies the 100% of the parent width unless specified. Whereas span tag takes only the width that it requires, and width and height doesn't work on a inline element.
Okay, width and height doesn't work on an inline element, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is the display property of an image?
Display property of an image
Yes,
by default.
yes, yes. Default.
I think it's we can give width and height
Yes.
to a image. I think it's block. Not
No,
sure on that, but I think it's block.
yeah, it's not block. It is not block because you
It is
can,
inline block.
no, it is inline. It is inline, still
Inline.
we can give height and width. So why is it possible, do you know? It is inline. You can check later
No.
what is display property of image tag. It is inline. Okay, it's not an issue. We will move to our next question. So, have you heard of positioning? Like position,
Yeah,
absolute,
position. Yeah,
relative, yeah. So, what is default value of position property?
it's static.
Yes. And what is the difference between position absolute and position relative?
So when you have a position relative, it will move the element with respect to its static position. So it's so the values that you specify will try to bring in the changes as per its static value. So relative will try to move the element with respect to its static position, whereas absolute will try to look for a nearest element which is non-static. So non-static element it will look and it will we can try to place this particular element with respect to that element, and this absolute element will come out of the document flow. It is not part of the document flow, and yeah, that is what happens.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And okay, so have you heard of Flexbox? Like you have obviously heard. Like, can you explain what is Flexbox?
Just a second, I'm noting down whatever I not answered before.
Okay, you can note down.
Okay, Flexbox. Where are you? Oh. Yeah, Flexbox is a CSS3 feature which tries to embrace, like in case of responsive design, we try to use Flexbox, which will allow us to adjust the containers based on the available viewport width.
Okay, so there is one question. There is a div, okay, and there are two span tags inside the div. Span
Okay.
tags, and there will be some text written hello and hi, something is written inside a span. And what will happen if you give height and width on the span tag, on both span tag, what will happen?
So could you repeat that? I missed. I think I missed it.
Okay, so there is a div tag, okay, and
Okay.
there are two child of div tag. Both tags are span tags, and some text is written inside both span tags. And if you give height and width on span tag, what will happen?
So that there is a parent div and there are two child span tags.
Yeah,
You give width and height to each span tag basically.
yes. Will it work or not?
I think no, because span is clearly an inline element. So
Yes, yeah, it will not work. That's correct. Now, what will happen? Let's say you have given height, width 200 pixel, but it is not working. Okay. Now, if you give display flex on the div, on the parent, basically parent of the span, will it
okay.
work now?
So basically, you're setting the flex item uh,
I'm setting display
width and
flex.
height
Yeah,
on the parent.
on the parent, I'm doing display flex. That's it.
Okay. And on the span tag, you're again applying width and height, is what
Yes,
you're telling.
yes, correct.
I think it will still not work because it's still an inline element.
Hmm. Okay, you can check this. It will work.
Okay.
Hmm. And why
So
it
the
will work?
basically the width
Yeah,
and height.
yeah. And why it will work? You need to find out. Okay, you can do research. Okay, you are noting it
Uh,
down.
yeah.
Okay. Or what you can do is you can and this interview will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can watch it later also. So don't worry if you miss any question. Okay. So, but
Okay.
still you can keep noting down. It's not an issue. So now this is enough for CSS. Now let's move to JavaScript. So first, what we will do first 30 minutes, we'll do some theoretical questions like we are doing right now. From JavaScript, from CSS we have already done, and then from React we will do some theoretical questions, and then we will do some output based question. I will send you some code snippets. You will have to see that code snippet and guess the output. Okay.
Okay.
And then at last we will do some machine coding round where you will have to build one small application in 30 minutes. You have 30-minute time. You can take 35 minutes or 40 minutes. That like 10 minutes extra you can take. It is not an issue, but you have to develop one application. 30 minutes will be good time. A small application will be, and that's what you have to develop. So right now we are doing the theoretical round, like explain what is this, what is that. Okay. So now let's go to JavaScript. So what is difference between let and var? Okay, let's ask this question later. What are different data types in JavaScript? Can you answer this?
Data types. Okay. We have number, we have bool, we have string. Sorry, bool I mean boolean.
Yes.
We have string. These are the primary data types which I'm mentioning.
Okay. Any
Null and
more? Any
undefined.
other? Null and undefined. Yes.
And yeah, these are primitive data types.
Hmm.
And we have array and object. Array data
Yes.
types.
Which data type? Array and objects.
I forgot the name. They are. I think I forgot the name.
Okay, it's not an issue. What you have just said something, something. Say it again.
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
Uh, I think I forgot the name. Array and objects are. I know,
Okay.
I
If
forgot the name.
if the other is primitive, then it is opposite of primitive. How you can make it opposite of primitive? Non-primitive. Or
Acha, नाम
yeah,
primitive.
there is different word also for this. I think you are thinking about that. Reference types or something like that we call
Yeah, reference.
reference types. So so yes, can you tell like why its name is reference type? What does it mean by reference type?
Yeah, so whenever you try to copy an array value, uh, basically array values are not copied. It's just the memory location that it points to. So they
Yes,
are always copied by reference.
yes, that's correct. Now, can you explain me the difference between var and let?
Yeah, var is basically a global scope, and let is a function scope variable.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to our next question. Basically, this is not correct. You can note it down. And what is difference between let and var? You can note this. And what are promises in JavaScript?
Yeah. So promises basically denote completion or failure of an future event, I would say.
Okay. And what are promises? Can you tell, like, this is what they represent, right?
Yeah.
But what they are actually in JavaScript, in terms of JavaScript.
They're objects.
Yeah, they are objects, correct. So they are objects which represent something completion or failure. Yeah, that's good. So what are different states of promise?
So promise, you have pending state, fulfilled state, and rejected state.
Okay, that's good. Now, have you heard of, you have obviously heard this thing, DOM. What is DOM?
DOM is basically the tree-like representation of the web page that you see on the screen.
Yes. So can you tell its full form?
DOM stands for Document Object Model, which is like a tree-like structure uh, of the web page that we see.
Okay, and why do we use, like, what is the need for having a DOM?
So DOM also gives us APIs, certain APIs, which helps us to interact uh, with the DOM to manipulate the DOM basically.
Okay, okay, that's good. Now, what is the main difference between, let's say, you want to select some elements on your page, okay? They have class, some common class. Let's say they have card class, and you want to select all the cards using JavaScript. So which one do you use? Document.querySelector and then class do you use, or get elements by class name? Which one do you use?
So I'll just repeat the question. You have a DOM where you have some elements with the class.
Yes.
So we can use query selector all with the class keyword or like with the specific class.
Yes, we can use query selector. Which one do you use? Let's say you are working in JavaScript. So which one do you prefer to use? There are two ways we can select all the classes, all the elements which have class. So get elements by class name, document dot get elements by class name, and there is one query selector. So which one do you use?
I think I'll go with query selector all.
Okay, query selector all. Yeah. So what is difference uh, like query selector all? We can select classes, we can select IDs, we can select tag name, like using tag name. There are different ways. So this difference I'm not asking in terms of what it will return. Like query selector all, what does it return? And get elements by class name, what does it return? Like, do they return the same thing or something else?
I'm not sure about this. Maybe I'll have to read.
Okay. So
Can you let me know what is that?
Yeah, so class name will return you something called HTML collection. It will look like an array, but it is not an array. You cannot use for each, you cannot use map. Okay, and this thing, query selector all,
Okay.
it will return a node list. Node list also looks like an array, but it is not an array. You can use some methods of array, like for each you can use, and map I think still you cannot use it on this one. But there is a difference between node list and HTML collection. So like if you want to use for each directly, you cannot use this thing get elements by class name. Okay, so this is the minor difference.
Okay.
Or anyway, you can convert it to array, like both things you can convert it to array and you can use any array method. So, but by default, they return different things. Okay, now can you
Okay.
tell me, okay, you have something you are asking?
No, I think that's an interesting thing. I have used only querySelectorAll till date. I have
Yes.
a habit of using that all the time. So
Yeah, so do you know event bubbling and event capturing?
event capturing, give me a minute. Yeah, I don't know about event capturing and event bubbling. So event capturing is when the event starts propagating from the top of the DOM to the from top of a, I would say, from a parent to child. That is when the event capturing happens.
Okay,
And event bubbling is the opposite. The event bubbles from the child to the parent in a DOM.
okay. So what is the default behavior of event propagation?
Event propagation default behavior.
Like,
I think it's bubbling.
okay, it's bubbling. Okay, that's good. Okay, do you know closures? What are closures?
Just take a note. Yeah. Uh, Closures are functions bundled with the lexical environment.
Yes, that's good. We will come to some practical examples. Okay, right now that is enough for now. Now let's come to React, some theoretical questions of React. So, why do we need React? Why can't we build everything using JavaScript?
So yeah, I think there are a few scenarios where vanilla JS might not be effective. Uh, as the let's say uh, vanilla JS is not declarative. So one of the things that React is declarative. What I mean by declarative is vanilla JS doesn't expose any new functionality. Let's say we have component-based architecture in React. So whenever a state changes, only that particular component re-renders. Everything else is unaffected. So if you want to mimic the same behavior in vanilla JS, the person has to create it. So it doesn't expose anything. It doesn't give any underlying benefits such as optimize rendering performance or carefully updating the DOM nodes. Only that needs the updation. So I would say performance optimizations can be improved further. And once you have a framework, you can divide your application into multiple smaller chunks. You can have a proper folder structure and everything, which comes handy as your application grows. So all those details, I would say, they are not present as a part of vanilla JS, and they do come as a part of framework or any library.
Okay, that's okay. Now, what is the concept of state in React? What is state?
So state is a special variable in React. When upon like upon change of that, the component basically re-renders.
That's good. Now let's move to, can you share your screen? Let's move to some output-based questions.
Okay.
Yes, this will work. Open it with live server and just check if JavaScript is connected properly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Okay, so I will send you in the chat. You can copy that and paste it.
Hmm.
Now, can you tell the output? What will be the output from all
So
console logs?
let's and this scope will be within this block only. So it will print wait. I think moment it comes here. So there is this thing. Wait, just give me a second. Oh yeah, it will print 1, 2, and here it comes error.
Okay, so for both lines error will come or only one line error will come?
Both the lines in the sense, like 9 and 10 you're saying?
Yes,
I think by the time 9, it comes to the line 9 and it gets an error, 10th line will not be executed. If you,
yes, that's correct. Let me send you another question. Okay. Uh, can you explain this? Just like
which one?
can you explain? Just do Control Z and can you explain why it is happening before I move to next question? Why it will give error
Oh yeah.
outside? Hmm.
So A and B's availability is within this block. So they are block scope. So they are not present here. So as the variable is itself is not present, it throws an error that A is not
Yes.
defined.
And if you do C, like right now you have added var C, what will happen?
I mean, even in that case, you still don't have A, right?
Uh, yes, we don't have a like just uncomment your code, whatever you have written, just uncomment. Now tell the output in this case.
Hmm. Yeah, I think var should be available here, I feel.
Okay, why it will be available?
Hmm. Yeah, I think var is a global scope variable, right?
Okay, okay. So you have said var is a global scope variable. So can you create a function? Just create a function and put that C variable inside the function. Create function with any name.
I think
Yes. Now call that function and move all the console logs below the function. Now move all the console log, all the three lines below the function call and delete that block above. Now what will happen?
okay. Where is a function scope variable and let and constant block scope variables. I think I get it now.
Okay.
It will still throw an error, I feel.
Okay. And yeah, that is like what will happen on line number 17?
Yeah, 17, it says it is not defined. It is not
Okay.
available.
Yeah, that's correct. You can check once if you want.
Yeah, see, it's not defined.
It is saying undefined. Okay.
Yeah,
You have said only VS Code screen, right?
yeah, I've showed only VS codes.
Okay. Now, if you remove var keyword from line number 9, just remove it altogether. What will happen now?
Even then, it will
No, no,
result in an
no, no,
error.
no, no. C equal to 1. You leave it. Leave that. C equal to 1. Leave it. You
I mean,
just
you
need
want me to keep it or?
keep C equal to 1. Don't use var. Just C equal to 1.
Okay, just C equal to 1.
Yeah.
Well, then it's a global scope, so C will be available here.
Okay. So if we don't use var, then it goes to global, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Now let's move to our next question. I'll send you. Can you share your entire screen, like so that I can also see output?
out.
Okay, stop and
Oh,
share your entire screen.
okay.
Okay, now, okay, just share it. I have something. Yeah, now it's good. Now, what I want you to do is come to index.html file and here where paged you are writing in script 2.js or script
Yeah,
1.
crypto.
Okay, so come to HTML file and add type equal to module after source equal to something. Type equal to module on script 2 we want because you are writing on script 2. So first you can leave put module in that. Yes. Now I want you to guess the output. What will happen?
For this thing.
Yes. Will there be any change or it will be same?
No, I'm not aware about this module thing.
Okay. So you have heard like you have used ES6 modules, right? Import, export, all these things.
Yeah,
So this is how modules work, right? In React, we are using import, export. Behind the scenes, type equal to module is something, somewhere it is written. Okay,
okay.
so, okay, you can check what will happen now.
Still the error is there.
So now, can you explain why this is saying when type module is added?
Actually, C is a global variable. Mm, as per what we have declared,
Okay,
but it is still throwing an error of saying that it is not defined.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I want you to remove that type module and come to your JavaScript file. Yes, now that error is gone. This is different error, right? This is for A.
Yeah, that
At that time it was for C. C is not defined. And yes, now remove extra console logs for A outside in JavaScript file. Remove extra console logs. Yes. Now you know about strict mode in JavaScript.
strict mode. I think I heard it long back. Not sure. I have to
Okay.
read about it.
Okay. So when you put type equal to module, it enables strict mode. And in strict
Oh,
mode, we are not allowed to declare a variable without using let, var, or const. You have to use at least any one of them. Okay. So so that error when you use type module, it becomes the file becomes strict mode, and this thing c equal to 1. Here basically JavaScript is saying you need to use var, let, const, anything, any one of them. So that's why we get error.
oh,
Okay. Okay, we get error on line number 9. You can check. We get on line number 9, not on line number 17.
oh.
Okay, so this is due to strict mode. Okay, so now I want you to guess this output. Just write console log. I'm not sending. Just write console log 0, 1, 2, 3.
In 0, comma 1, comma like that, or
Not comma, not comma. Just a number. Yes, and remove that type equal to module. Type module. Have you removed it
I
already?
think yes, it is removed.
Okay. Okay, now VS Code is giving the error. Okay, it should not give error. So what will be output of this? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it gave the hint. You just remove your.
Acha.
Okay, I should have sent in. What will be output? Can you guess the output?
It looks like it is take it as an octet system.
Yeah.
So it takes it an octet system. So 3 is basically 3 into uh,
Okay,
8
you
of
don't need to
8 power
convert it.
0.
You don't need to convert it. So basically, VS Code told you this. You can clear this. We will move to our next question. So did you know about this? Like if you write 0, it will become octal.
No, I didn't know that it will be converted to octet.
Okay. Okay.
So if you write 0, like before
Yeah.
any number, it converts it to octet.
Yes.
Okay. Like it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and even still it converts to octet.
Yes. Yes. Any number, if you put 0, it will be octal.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah.
Hmm. Now I have sent you next question. You can copy it and you can comment out other questions. No, that is already I have copied. Yeah, new this one. You can comment above questions. We don't need above one.
So whenever you're trying to call the foo, basically X is hoisted. So you're trying to call it before even it's getting initialized. Since it is hoisted, it will give you undefined.
Okay, that's correct. And if we remove this, if we remove line number 27, what will happen?
Line number 27. Okay, let's comment this. And you're trying to print x. Basically, I think in that case, you still have x here.
Yes.
So it should ideally look for it should go for the parent scope. Since it is not present within its scope, I think it will log 20.
Okay, that's good. Now I will send you one more question. One second. I need to type it out, so it may take 1 second or something. Yeah, so I will send you this question. Copy that question and paste it here. Comment existing questions.
This one.
Yes.
Mm. They are trying to call foo 2 times. You have a variable and a function name with foo.
Yeah. Both have same name. What will happen now?
Mm. Not sure on this.
Okay, not sure.
No, I'm not sure about this.
Okay, you can save it. You can check it later. What will happen? You can comment it out. We'll move to next question. So you told that you know closures, right?
Yeah.
Can you write one example where closure is being used? Proper example. Can you explain with code that here closure is coming into the picture?
Yeah, you can try to create a counter and you'll have a count variable and we'll try to return basically a function which will try to increment this. I think something is wrong. Which can be used to increase this count and yeah, so by this way we can let we can call this and so basically here we are trying to create a counter which uses closure concept where we are trying to return this function.
Okay.
We get the incremented value and every time so this way we are not allowing the giving the access of count variable directly to the user where
Okay.
Here we are trying to make it like a private thing, and user can only access this counter function to get the incremented value.
Yeah, so on line number 52, what will be the value?
So uh, wait, I think I have to assign some value. I assigned it 0 initially.
Yes.
On the first, like on the first go, it will be 0 only because I'm using, I think this is post increment. So
Okay. So on the first time it will be 0.
yeah,
Okay. Are you sure it will be 0?
yeah.
Okay, you can check. Now, why you have commented it? We need to check it. We need to check
Okay,
what will be output. Question is not over yet.
it is being undefined.
Yeah. Can you fix this?
I return the function. We're calling that. Acha. Wait.
I don't want don't put console log there. Or if you put you can put. But I want the output on line number 52. This will be this will be output on line number 46. I want no. Don't remove the console log from here. Do control Z for this 52. Do control Z. Yes. So I want the output uh, like now you can check what will happen. But I want the value to be present on line number 52. So here on line number 52 we don't want yeah. So this result I want some value, that count value I want in the result.
Hmm. Okay. I think I missed this.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So you have not returned from that function, right?
Function. Yeah.
That's why you got it. It's good. Now let's move to our next question. I've sent you in the chat. You can copy it.
It start, end, and timeout.
Okay. I want you to tell okay, start, end and timeout.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain why it will happen like this?
Yeah. So this is a synchronous code, and this is an asynchronous code. So this is executed by call stack immediately, and set timeout moves to web API section and then moves to the macro
Which
task queue.
section? Moves to which section?
Web API section.
Okay, yes. And then?
And then it moves to macro task queue, then set as a set timeout. And once the main thread is available, it gets pushed into main thread and gets executed.
Okay, you said it moves to micro task queue.
Macro,
Okay, macro.
macro task queue.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it. Yes. So does event loop come into picture in this case?
yeah. Event loop, what it does is it checks the call stack, that is the main thread, whether it's available or not for processing any further events that are going to come from macro task queue. Once it is available, it will try to push it from the macro task queue to the call stack. So that is what
Yes.
event loop does.
Yes, that's correct. Now let's move to our next question. You can copy it and paste it. So you have to guess the output, what will happen.
Mm. Comes still 3 here, and so even after 3, it will come here and it will log 4 3 times.
Okay, it will log 4 3 times. Why? Can you explain this?
Yeah, because this is in set timeout and it gets resolved after 1 second. So by 1 second gets over, the var I value will move from 1 to 3 and goes till 4. So basically, all the values that are there in set timeout will reference to the I. It will reference to the I, and I value gets updated to 4. So it gets printed 4 3 times. Here, since you're traversing 1 to 3.
Yes, that's correct. Now I want you to fix it and get the desirable output. How will you fix it?
We can change this to block scope.
Okay, okay, that will work, but don't use let. Without using let, can you fix it?
In that case, we can try to make a separate scope for this function value. And can try to make it iffy. We can try to pass this iffy here. I think this should work.
Okay, you can save it, you can check.
Hmm.
It is working.
Not logging anything onto the console.
Yeah, we want to log on the console. So what is happening? You need to fix it.
I think I missed the iffy syntax. That is the problem.
Okay.
Wait, wait. I think there could be some other way. I can just create a function out of this. Uh, function. calc. Here you are going to pass the I, and then we are going to call this function here. Every time you call a function, creates a new reference. So new reference of I is created. So in that case, I think this should work. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It is working. Now let's move to our next question. I've sent you the question. You can copy it.
What is this? I think it's the other way around. End promise and timeout.
Okay. And okay. So can you explain?
So this console.log is a synchronous thing, synchronous JavaScript. So that will be executed first, and then in between promise and set timeout, promise once it is resolved, it moves to microtask queue. Whereas set timeout, it moves to macrotask queue. So items over microtask queue has a higher priority than the macrotask queue, which is set timeout event.
Yes.
So this will get executed, and then after this, uh, console.log will be set timeout. Basically, timeout will be executed last, and
Yes,
second
yes.
last promise, and end is the first promise and timeout. That is the sequence.
Yeah, that's correct. Now we'll move to our next question. You did not copy A.
I'll type that way.
Yeah, so what will be the value of result?
Async function, if you don't use await, it returns a promise. So result is actually a promise. You are returning a promise.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, now I want to take out the value, the promise value. How will take, how will receive the promise value?
You can use dot then.
Okay. Yeah, dot then we
First,
can
this is
use. Can
you
you
can try
use
to resolve it. Okay. Tell me.
can you use await here? I want you to use await in order to get the value.
No, I think they should give that result. Okay.
This will give
Because you
the
get a promise and you're trying to resolve it using await.
okay, but await, can we use it outside of async function?
Okay. Since it's an async function. Okay. Wait. We cannot use await without async here. So you want me to resolve it using only await. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, correct.
Okay. In that case, that's right. Okay. I
You
think
can
this.
create extra function if you want, if you want.
mm, This is an async function, and you want me to resolve it using await. So I have to create an extra function. So let's try to remove this. Trying to return that. is a promise. I don't have anything function outside of this, so this is the only thing in this. I have to make a promise here. Okay. Oh, done. No, I don't think this will work because you're trying to return a function. You're trying to return a function. You have to use await here only within inside this. You want to use await within this. You have to use it the other way. Const wait. Okay. You mean to tell that wait, I don't think this will work this way. Okay, I think this should work. I don't.
Okay, okay, you can check.
I'm just still pending. Basically, this function is returning me a promise. So, function which is returning as a promise, so I have to use await there. So, that is the case. I think I have to make a function here. I'll just return it because it is anyways going to give me a promise. So, as it is anyways going to give me a promise, I have to call one more function. Every time I have to use await, I think I have to use async. That's like a chain. They can't avoid.
Yeah, that's correct. Just console log result. Now you can check. What is
No,
happening?
not getting the result. Okay, I didn't call this. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Now I want you to put some more console logs, like online number, like 93. After 93, you can put some more console logs. Console log hi, hello, something, or some number, and one more console log. Now I now I want you to guess the output. What will be output in this case?
Async and await. So in case of async and await, whenever there is a await keyword occurred and it is trying to get some data, it will suspend the execution of further lines till you try to resolve this promise. Uh, Try to get the value from this function in this case. So
Okay.
it will log the result and high and 9.
Okay. So it will suspend means what it will do. It will pause the function and where
It will
that
not block the main thread, but I think execution will be paused. Yeah.
okay. And then when the value is resolved, it will continue from there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. That's good. Now let's move to our next question. So like this thing, object-oriented things, classes, constructor functions.
Yeah.
And okay, I've sent you the next question. You can copy that.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Console log value, like below. I have not sent you the last line.
Yeah. Yes.
Console log value. So what will be the value of value?
Yes, sir, again. What did I do previously? I think there was one question, right? Which I okay, here it is. Okay. You're trying to create a constructor function, you're getting a value. So basically, value will have a there'll be this and that this. So every time you create a constructor function, a new this variable is created. This object is created, I would say, like this,
Hmm.
and it will have an implicit statement saying we are going to return this. so that this is value, and you're trying to log that.
Okay, so what will be the output?
I think it will be an object basically.
Yes, that's good. That's correct. Now let's move to some ES6 concepts. You know destructuring, right?
Yeah.
So can you create one object with with two properties like user and something, some detail? And now if you want to destructure these properties, how we will destructure? Okay. Okay, this is called destructuring.
Yeah, you want me to could you tell it? Repeat what's the question? I think I missed the question.
I've asked you to destructure these two properties. Destructure age and name.
Yeah, I think this is how I would do.
Okay, so this is what how you destructure it.
Yeah.
And can we spread this object in a new object? You know
Okay.
spread operator?
Okay. I think this is what is spreading it.
Yes,
You want to destructure it, you can do it this way.
yes, that's correct. You can do it in one go. You don't need to do in two times.
Ah, yeah.
Do it in one go. Yeah, now let's say that details object has that let's say you want to give it a property called username. Okay, and username will be like user dash name. How we will give it? Did you get
No,
the question?
I did not understand the question.
Okay, comment out line number 18118 and
Okay.
120. Comment out those things. Now give it instead of user, give it username, whatever way you want. Change it to username. Yes.
Okay.
Now I want you to put dash between user and name. Put dash between user and name. Yes. Minus symbol. I want you to put there. So
Underscore,
no,
right?
not underscore, minus symbol. Yes, that. Yeah, now it is giving error. So how we will fix this? I want it to be like this only. The key should be user dash name. How will we do this?
So basically, you wanted this username to be in, okay, you need user dash name. So currently it is username, is it? Or it is
Yes,
user dash name?
yes, yes.
It is username and you want to change it to user dash name.
Yes, I want to change it to user dash name.
I think you have to create a new object.
Okay, how? Just So I want you to create an object where there is one property name user dash name. So you can create any way you want. Like the key should be user dash name. That's it. That is the requirement.
Okay, a new object.
Same object. You don't need to create a new object. Here only you can change it.
Okay.
You don't need to create it separately like that. Like right now you are deleting and you will create a new. You can I want you to create inline like instead of user name, create it user dash name. I don't want you to delete. On line number 14 itself, 114, I want you to change it.
Um, I don't think you can change the key of a variable. Sorry, key of an object, right? Once it is created.
Uh, no, like while creating itself, I want you to like keep user dash name. How you will do that? It is giving error, right? So,
Okay, acha, you can put it in JSON,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was expecting. Yes, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
say.
you can do it that way.
Yeah,
I said,
for age we don't need. You can leave it, or it's not a problem. Now, I want you to destructure how you will access first. If let's say you want to access username, how you will access this? Let's say you want to console log details and then username which is
uh,
inside details. How you will access?
object dot piece of details dot map element index.
I want you to access only one thing. This will give you age also. Simply,
Okay.
let's say I want you to access user. Like right now, you cannot do user dot name, right? User details dot username. You cannot do
Mm-hmm.
that. So how you will access it in that way?
Like this.
Yes, this is correct. Now I want you to destructure on line number 125. We have destructured it, right?
Yeah.
So how you will destructure this kind of property which has dash in the name?
Maybe you have to parse it.
Parse how? Okay.
I don't have any other console, right? Let us see. I think it is throwing some error here. User, user. The details is not sure. This will throw an error right there. It will not allow me here. It's a variable, right? Not allow like this.
Yes.
Mm, it's an interesting one. Okay. How do I do this? Yes, and not pass. Let me see if I get.
Okay. And for your information, we don't need to parse it. Without parsing it, it will work. If you do
Okay.
it correct way, like parsing it and non-parsing it, it will not make a difference because This JSON is a valid object, valid JavaScript object.
It is giving me undefined for user because we don't have a user, but we can't get username at the same time.
Yes.
Hmm. Can't get username out of this. How do we get username out of this? How do we get? Maybe I think we have to get it using like this on like details of username. There is the only way to get it. Restructuring will not happen, I believe.
Okay. Okay. We can do actually destructuring in this case.
How? Yes.
Yeah. That is your job. You will have to research it. Okay. You, you just see how you can research it. If you don't get it, you can message me later. Okay. Okay, and this is enough for JavaScript. Now let's move to our React. For React, you can open a code sandbox or something, or if you have a Vite or some project, empty project, you can open that.
No, I don't have.
Okay. So for React also, I will send you questions. So open the chat. I will send you. I've sent.
Okay.
Replace everything. Just do Control A and Control V. It will work. And yeah, don't click. There will be one button. Don't click on that button. I want you to don't click on that. Now open the console in Code Sandbox. There will be some console below or top. Yes, yeah. Did it open?
Yeah.
Okay, it opened. Okay, now I want you to predict the output. If we click on increment, what will happen in the console and what will happen on the screen?
Answer it will be 0 and the
Okay,
screen it will be 1.
okay. Can you explain why it will happen?
Yeah, because state updates are asynchronous. They're not synchronous. And you will not get the count value immediately. So on the next render cycle, you will get them. That's the reason.
Okay, okay. You can check. You can check.
Conflict.
Yes. Now, if you duplicate this set timeout, this set count, line number 10, if you duplicate it 2 times, like, yeah, once more. Now, what will be output? Do it only once, like, don't duplicate 2 times, only one time. Yeah. What will happen now?
Yeah, even in this case, you have a stale closure because you'll not get the updated value in the second set count. So it will point out to 0 initially and it will be 1 and 0, still the same.
Okay. Yes, that's correct. Now, okay. Now, I want you to write one set interval inside this. Clear it. Write one set interval inside the on click itself. Yeah. and just console log something inside.
Wait. You want me to use a set interval, huh?
Yes. Yes. Now in the set interval, console log count.
Counter.
Yes.
Okay.
And count plus one. You can do count plus one. And also, uh, okay, don't do count plus one, only count. And before console logging, increase like do it like this: set timeout, not set timeout, set set count, and then pass count plus one. Now
Yeah.
save it and run this set interval on click.
Yeah, you're trying to increase the set count. You're increasing the count every 1 second.
Okay, so
Every 1 second. So you will not get the updated value, I feel, because you're trying to on click. So on every second you're trying to increase the count. So loaded count. And you're getting an extender cycle. Trying to do it every 1 second, basically. If you're trying to do it every 1 second, it will increase. It will trigger a rerender. And again set interval is running. And it runs every 1 second. So I think so at least for count sake it won't be available here,
okay,
but it might print to the UI. So I think count value will be 0 only, but on the UI it will increment.
okay.
Okay, user
Use ref you need
identifier.
to improve import.
Okay, I'm
The
sure
timer
it
did
is.
not start. Save that file, I think. Maybe. Okay, it started. Yeah. So it is not increasing either in console,
Okay.
neither on the UI. So how is it possible?
Yeah, I think it is not getting the updated value since then.
Yeah. For example, you want to update it, how you will do it? 1, 2, 3, like this, you want to update. Yes.
There is one more form.
Yes.
Yeah, it also takes a function where you pass the recent value. So
Mhm.
with this, it should be able to do it.
Yeah, that's good. That's correct. Okay, now I will send you next question for React. Check check the chat box. You have not copied the import statement. You can copy import statement also. Now save it and use ref. Refresh it again, it should not give the error. Yeah. Now there are two buttons. So I don't want you to click right now, but let's say you click on increment ref 2 times, and then what will happen? Or once, let's say you click on increment ref 1 time, what will happen? And you click on increment state 1 time, what will happen?
I think if you click on increment ref, it will increase by 1. Even if you do for state, it will increment by 1. But in case of ref, it will not be reflected because it doesn't trigger a rerender.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. You can check it.
Yeah. Once you click on set, since there is a rerender, it gets the updated values.
Yes, that's good. Now I want you to this thing, like this output based questions round is over. Now I want you to create an expense tracker kind of thing where you will take one input,
Okay.
like there will be one form where you will take expense name and expense value, two input fields you will take, and when add, and there will be one add button or submit button. When user will click on that add button, the form will be submitted and the value will come in a table where like expense name and expense amount will be shown, and below you will show the total expense. You will add all the values. So this kind of application I want you to create
Okay.
in React only. Just clear this. You can clear, yeah, you can clear this and change the function name to something like expense expense tracker or something, and then you can start.
Hmm. 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 So I have an input which tells about the what kind of expenses and another input which has the cost related to that expense. Once user clicks on the ad, it will show the values in a table with
Yes,
the expense name and expense. with respect to that item and the
Yes.
total cost.
Yes.
Total
Correct.
cost is a part of the table, or is it separate?
Total cost you can show in table or separately anywhere. Like it should be below the cost. Like you
Okay,
get the
got it.
idea, right? It should come below. You can put in table, that will be good.
In table, like since a table will have a like common, like you will have a header which is expense name and expense details. So upon adding the expense value, basically you will get a total cost. Like how do we include that in a table is something I'm thinking. Because it's not for an entry, it's for the overall entries, right?
Yes, yes, it is for overall. So you can put anywhere. You can put outside of the table anywhere.
Okay, so I think I will have a form return constructor form idea expense tracker. Hmm. So which will have a input type text, right? Uh, we'll have a placeholder which states like under uh, ex expense name. We'll have a state for this. Where since it's an expense tracker and the name can be quite confusing, I'm giving the cost as a variable property.
Okay.
The state variable. So there's a form and we'll have a value as expense name. And on change will be we have es case continue set expense name is .value. I want this to be reloaded. I want to see my form. I will have also a label. Well, let's think about the functionality. Think about input. We'll have similar thing here, and only thing is expense enter cost, and I have cost here. That cost. So I'll have a button. We have a form on like on submit. On submit, we'll have to uh, on add expense on add expense. We have to take the, because on submission it will try to reload. So we have to create an object for, have to create basically a state for expense details, which is a state variable, which is an array basically, which will contain all the expense detail that we are adding. In this expense details, we are going to set, okay, yes, you have to set it as well. Set expense details. In the set expense detail, we are going to, in an array, we are basically going to spread the expense details, comma. Within this array, we have to like make this an object and expense details, comma. First, you have to put that. So we're spreading it. Spreading this and keeping this. So all the previous details will be there and the reference will be changed. We will get that. So we will get that, and so we have to pass this expense details as a table thing to the table component which we are going to create. But for now, let's check the functionality. I'll try to enter uncontroller. No, I think it is control component because React is controlling it. For cost, get 0. For this, you will get this.
Both keep empty string. Don't give 0 because it will be difficult. Or both give empty string.
So we have both the things. Let's try to console.log. Expense name and cost. Yeah, we are getting both the values. Let's try to see this in the expense table. As we're setting it, we may not get this, but let's try to pass this thing to the table component. This is a form component, and we'll have a table which will take these expense details as a prop. Full table, and we'll get this expense details. You have to import this table here. Imported. Still table is not defined. Right? Not returning anything. Huh? I think there's some issue. We're getting cost, but then we're not getting the expense. Okay, the expense name. Maybe messed up with the variable. I'll show you my expense details too. Yeah, we have expense name and expense details ready with us. So we can try to map over this. So what we can do is we can try to call this header basically. First we have to generate the table header. So for that we can call this table headers function which will return the JSX for us. Const table headers. We can try to, as we have expense details, uh, expense details dot map. We'll take the index and we can try to return the table headers basically. What we can do is we have to get the headers, right? So map in that element. Since we have to get the header, we can only traverse through one element and map will get the element. And for that element, object.element dot keys. What will this object.element dot keys will return to me? And this thing that keys. Next the second table header should return some headers which I should get. Let's keep this table. Table body. And let's get into this first of all. You might have to return this. Issue is not going, expression not expected. It is not allowing me to return this. I don't understand why it is not. So this will basically return me TD. This fragment we will return TD. Table. So you can have 3 to 4 entries. Within these 3 to 4 entries, you want to show all the values basically. So you want to show the element. So it is basically single tr here. Inline. వస్తా.
For now, you can you can comment out table headers. Just you can check without table headers. Yes. what you can do is you can put some data by default in the array. Put some data by default in the array so that you don't have to write every time. Put two things, two objects by default. Books, price 100 you can do, or don't do expense. Write books like okay. Sorry, you are doing correct. Expense name. Sorry, you are doing correct. Expense name and then books. Yes. Now try to make the headers also.
Coming to headers, we have to get the table header. So based on 0, we can try to map and get the so let's say obj we have a.1 object we have defined it right. Okay, obj1 is equal to so obj1 dot key surface a. So I'll get the key. Okay, what is problem details. Okay, explain detail 0 is not okay, I understand that. So inputted this here and just remove this. So object since this is object and we'll get the keys and we'll map through them and we'll get this. I think there's an issue. Object.key should work here. Object dot keys. So it should not be here. It should be rather here. tr cannot appear as a child of table. Add t body. Okay, t body and t head. What is the problem?
Try to
There's
refresh that.
with this thing we can attach a key. That's not an issue. I'm just thinking, what is the other? Three bodies here. Here we have. This is default return. It is returning already. I don't see issue with that. Why is this not working? Is this even returning first of all? Okay, there it is. Yeah, it kind of locks. What is that? Why is it not putting into this? And it's already available. It's logging it. There's no issue with this. Do that. Working fine. I don't see any issue there. Let's check the DOM. T head, there is nothing actually. It's not coming. There is nothing rendered. The T head.
Yeah.
Not this one. This one. Yeah, there is nothing. Is okay. What the return? Yeah.
Yes. Now check the console if there is any warning. Like apart from yes. Now there is one warning.
Warning. I see. This key, you have to
Yeah.
use a key prop.
Yeah. Apart from key. Yeah. You can use key. Still there is one warning. You can use key. You can use index as a key.
Okay. TS cannot appear as a child of T head. You're talking about this?
Yes, that one.
Hmm. I don't remember exactly how is the table structure. I read it long back. T
Yeah,
H.
so actually th should be inside tr.
Okay, so this should be tier.
No, like that is correct.
Oh,
But again,
you
you
need to
do,
have one more
yeah,
tier.
yes, one more tr. Yeah, yeah. Yes, now give the key also so that warning goes away. And there above also on line number 5.
And number 5. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, now it is working. Okay.
Aish, I might have to leave now. I have some other work.
Okay. Okay, so let's finish this interview. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you have 5 minutes or 2 minutes, we can complete this.
Yeah, maybe I think we'll have to spend that 5 minutes on the feedback. I'm just thinking.
Yes,
And
feedback. So shall we do it now? Do
yeah,
you have
we can do
5?
it now. Yeah, let's start with the feedback.
Yeah, so now this machine coding round is also over and you have done very well in all the rounds, not only in the machine coding or output. You have done very good performance. So, like, let's say if you want to rate yourself from 1 out of 10, 1 to 10, like, how will you rate according to this interview? How it went according to you?
Yeah, I think I would rate myself as 7 to 8 somewhere.
Yeah, correct. So I would have rated you 8. So 8 means you are selected. Like if this is a real interview, I would have taken for a company or somewhere. You will be selected for this role considering you have 1.5 years of experience. You have done very well, actually very well, and you have prepared all the concepts very well. And for feedbacks, like you can improve some advanced things in JavaScript, like uh, some questions you have stuck, you have already noted those questions. So you can focus on those questions and like in React also one set interval question was there. So you was not able to answer. So it will come over with the experience. So um, that's enough. Like you have done very well. There is nothing to say like what you can improve. You are already doing very well, and like you can give any interview and you will crack it. It is very good. It is really nice taking interview with you, right?
Yeah.
And what is your experience with like this interview? How did you find this interview?
Yeah, I think I did learn few things which I missed initially, like the
Okay.
image thing. So I think in the next years they made it block. So that's what I told. And next years it is image tag is block. In
Okay.
normal HTML it is inline, as you
In
mentioned.
what you said? What is block?
No, image tag is a block or inline element. You're asking me, right?
Yes, yes. So
So in next years they made it block. I think that is what I
okay,
told.
in Next.js they made it block. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they will apply some styling and it will become block. But by default it is inline. Still we can give height and width. That you can find
yeah, yeah.
out. Yeah.
I think
So
that JSON passing thing that
yeah.
was still something.
Yeah. So considering 1.5 experience, you know the things worth three years of experience. Like even if you give an interview for front end part who has 3 years of experience, so that interview you also be able to crack. So like right now, if you want, like we can do in future some other rounds. So in that, I can prepare some difficult questions that will challenge, because this interview was not very much challenging for you. Like it
Yeah.
was 80% of the questions you were able to answer easily. So considering 1.5 experience, it is very good. Okay, if you want some challenging interviews, we can do in future where difficult questions we can do, or like, so that yeah, your skills will be challenged more. So I did not prepare that. I did not expect that someone with 1.5 years or 2 years experience will know this, like will be able to pass this easily. So you have done very well. Okay. And just all the things that you did not know, that will come only by experience. You will not learn in any course. You will just have to give more interviews and you will learn. Okay. That's it. It's, it's very good
Thanks.
talking to you.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.